Interim President, Dr. Ann Merklowitz, member of the Council of Regents, members of the clergy and religious, faculty, program directors, staff, administrators, spouses, partners, children, friends, and members of this graduating class. Good afternoon and welcome to the Twin Cities campus of St. Mary's University of Minnesota for this commencement convocation. I invite you to be seated. At this commencement convocation, we will be conferring master's and doctoral degrees in the Graduate School of Business and Technology. In the two previous commencement ceremonies held today, we presented candidates for bachelor's, master's, graduate certificates, education specialist, and doctoral degrees in the Graduate School of Health and Human Services, the Graduate School of Education, and the Graduate School of Business and Technology. We have commencement convocations 6 times each year. In addition to today's 3 ceremonies, we have commencement ceremonies in January and in October here on our Twin Cities campus. On our Winona campus, we have commencement ceremonies in May. At our Nairobi, Kenya campus, we have commencement in April. And at our Mandeville, Jamaica campus, we have commencements each September. Those of you who are graduating today are part of a large and growing St. Mary's University of Minnesota global family. That is in part also reflected by the international flags we have here in the front of the auditorium. They represent the nations of some of our students who have left their homelands to study with us. Today is indeed a special and joyous day for all of us. No one less than the graduates rejoice in this day. We celebrate a chapter in your life's journey, a chapter that has not only challenged you intellectually, but in every other way as well. The university's holistic approach to higher education has provided you with the opportunity to develop many talents that I know you will share with others on your personal and professional journey as a graduate of St. Mary's University of Minnesota. We have all looked forward to this day. Your family and friends, as well as the faculty, administration, and staff of the university rejoice with you in your achievement. At this time, I invite all candidates for graduation, as well as members of the audience who are in active military service, members of the reserves or National Guard, and veterans, to please stand if you are able so that we might recognize you for your service to our nation. I invite all who are able to please stand. Dr. Rebecca Hopkins, Dean of Education, will sing America the Beautiful. Dr. Hopkins.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than
Thank you, Dr. Hopkins, and thank you, Becky Warnock, for the accompaniment. Please remain standing while Father James Nodebart, our campus chaplain, offers the invocation. Father Nodebart.
Let us remember we are in the holy presence of our God. Blessed is the God of all creation. Blessed is your holy name. Blessed too are your works. Holy and righteous, merciful and compassionate God. We come before you today in gratitude and thanksgiving because you have been with us on our journey here. The work of our hands, the creation of our minds, is a witness to your wisdom, for every good work comes from you. We are grateful, too, for the support and encouragement of our families. They have stood by our sides when times were easy and those challenging times when we were overwhelmed. We remember those who engaged us with new ideas, new ways of thinking, new relationships, cast in the crucible of education. Give us the strength of memory so that the days ahead do not erase what has happened here in these years. Blessed are you, maker and sustainer of life and justice. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father Nodebart. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to recognize a member of our Council of Regents who is with us today. I ask Mr. Walter Youngbauer to please stand and be acknowledged. Thank you for being with us today. I would also like to recognize members of the President's Cabinet who are with us today. I ask Dr. Timothy Gosson, Vice President for Mission and Student Life, and Mr. Ben Murray, Vice President for Financial Affairs, to please stand. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Sarah Ferguson, our Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs and the Academic Dean here in the Graduate School, will be assisting the President in giving out the diplomas. I also am happy to welcome to the stage party Miss Andrea Carroll Glover, Associate Vice President of Online Strategy and Development for the University, to the ceremony. Thank you for joining us. Regent Youngbauer will offer an official welcome. Mr. Youngbauer.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's commencement ceremony. My name is Walter Youngbauer and I'm a proud 1987 graduate of St. Mary's University in Minnesota. On behalf of the entire Council of Regents, I extend my congratulations to the graduates seated before us in recognition of a truly remarkable achievement. You came to St. Mary's University School of Graduate and Professional Programs with many life experiences and expectations. You also brought questions such as, what will completing a certificate or degree do for me as a person, as a professional, as a family member, as an educated member of society? Can I achieve the expectations of the rigorous coursework? Is the effort worth the sacrifices I need to make in order to succeed? You have answered these questions and more during your years of study with us. Now you face new questions. We know that you will find answers to these questions using the knowledge and skills that are now part of your educational and life experience. The Board of Regents has placed the responsibility to educate you in our LaSallian tradition in the hands of your faculty, staff, and administration. many of whom are present today. I congratulate them on a job well done. Best wishes to the entire St. Mary's University educational community in your search for answers to yet new questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Youngbauer. I would also like to take a moment to recognize our faculty, academic staff, program directors, and coordinators, several of whom are sitting here in front of our graduates and in front of the stage party. We are all grateful for your professionalism and your commitment and dedication to our shared LaSallian education mission here at the Schools of Graduate and Professional Programs. Mr. Mike Skillrood, an MBA graduate of the university and a member of our alumni board, will offer a welcome to the Alumni Association. Mr. Skillrood.
Good afternoon and congratulations. You know, it was exactly 10 years ago today that I sat where some of you are sitting, so I remember it well. At the end of this commencement ceremony, you are going to be the newest graduates of St. Mary's University of Minnesota, and I do look forward to welcoming you as the newest members of St. Mary's University Alumni Association. Today, you will join a network of more than 45,000 alumni from our undergraduate, graduate, and professional programs. In your professional and personal lives, you may be amazed at how often you will cross paths with another St. Mary's alum. And you'll undoubtedly find that St. Mary's alumni share connections that span generations, programs, degrees, and even continents. Welcome to this valuable network. The purpose of the St. Mary's Alumni Association is to grow and strengthen these connections through social and professional networking and educational events. And the thread that brings us all together is our university and all the people who make this university special. We do hope that you will continue to stay connected with St. Mary's. We really can be a fun group to hang out with, by the way, so I invite you to do that whenever possible. Please know that you really are always welcome. We encourage you to continue the personal and professional friendships that you've made here, and I know I've made many, and I've made some very good lifetime friends here. Stay in touch with these classmates, faculty, and staff. We're proud of everything that you have accomplished and everything that you will accomplish. So please continue to let us know of these successes so that we can celebrate them with you. And please consider sharing your time and talents with our St. Mary's students. St. Mary's has been your university. Now it is your alma mater. And there will always be a place here for you. We are excited to see you move into the next chapters of your life as you discover your next adventures, inspire others to work with, and lead in your future communities. Your 45,000 alumni and I wish you all the best as you go forward. Once again, congratulations on your accomplishments.
Thank you very much, Mr. Skillrood. At this time, we would like to honor one of our graduating students with the Outstanding Graduate Final Paper Award. As part of the conclusion of their degree program, students are required to complete a capstone project. The final paper is the culmination of the capstone, and in the case of doctoral students, the culmination is a dissertation. The faculty members of each program, in consultation with the program director, recommend candidates for this award. The deans then select those to be honored with the Outstanding Final Paper or the Outstanding Dissertation Award. I am happy today to announce our award recipient and ask her to please come forward to be recognized. Ms. Wen Chang, candidate for the Master of Science in Information Technology Management. Ms. Chang will receive a plaque presented by the president of the university after I read the title of her paper. The citation on the plaque reads as follows: St. Mary's University of Minnesota proudly presents this honor in recognition of your contribution to excellence in scholarship on this day, June 2nd, 2018, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Brother William Mann, FSC, President. Brother William just finished his term of office last week, which is why his name is on this plaque, because he is the one who approved it. The title of her paper is A Search Engine Website. Congratulations, Ms. Chang. As adult learners who have returned to further your education, those of you who are about to graduate take on even the meaning of your accomplishments, take on even greater significance, I think, when we consider the many responsibilities each of you has managed in order to complete your education. Time away from family and friends and loved ones, although challenging, I believe will prove its worth in the days and the years ahead. At this time, two of today's candidates for graduation will briefly share their reflections with us. I invite Ms. Gaia Dil Descoli, a candidate for the Master of Arts in Arts and Cultural Management, to please come forward and share her reflections with us. Ms. Descoli.
Good afternoon. In the 12th century, John Salisbury wrote, "We are like dwarves standing on the shoulders of giants. We see more and things that are more distant than they did, not because our sight is superior or because we are taller than they, but because they raise us up and by their great stature add to ours." Sir Isaac Newton shortened that to be, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." I've thought about this concept every week of grad school. I've thought about how programs like the Arts and Cultural Management program drive forward the academic study of arts and cultural management. We, the students, are given the opportunity to learn from individuals who have been working in their field for years. They are distilling their experience, and we can take advantage of that knowledge to find new directions for the field itself, as well as for our individual careers. For me, this knowledge was the whole point of going to grad school. Well, that and getting a job. By standing on the shoulders of giants, I and my cohort, and hopefully all the other graduating students in this room, have been given the opportunity to expand the horizons of knowledge in our fields. We've heard the stories of the mistakes our instructors made. We've read about their successes. We've examined case studies and discussed best practices. By attending this institution, I've been given a stepladder onto the shoulders of giants. But sometimes, the things you go in expecting are not the things you value most when you leave. No matter how far we can see, a stepladder doesn't keep us from falling. My circus training tells me that falling is part of learning. But in order to learn, we need a safety net to catch us when we fall. I didn't realize that each night I went to class and each Facebook message I answered was weaving another piece of that safety net. I didn't realize how strong a net I had woven with my classmates and cohort until I needed it. In the past year, I've learned what it means to need a safety net. In our lives, sometimes things don't go as we'd planned, and sometimes those things go terribly. Last spring, I needed to drop my classes. in the fall, I came back. I came back because these are the people with whom I want to graduate. These are the people who I have had the pleasure of learning beside. And these are the people with whom I plan on changing the world. Though I value the stepladder and hopefully the employment, I have found in the past year that I value even more the relationships. If the program is a stepladder, these relationships are my safety net. Because of this stepladder and this safety net, each of my cohort and each person graduating today will be able to see a little further. We will be able to add to the body of knowledge about arts management by going out and making new mistakes. And somewhere in our future, I'm confident that we'll go out and make new successes. And from these successes, the next generation of students will see just a little bit further.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tiscoli. I next invite Ms. Charlene Miata Gateway, a candidate for the Doctor of Business Administration, to come forward. Ms. Gateway.
Good afternoon. In Africa, our people say it takes a village to raise a child. I would say it takes a village to earn a degree. In reflecting on my journey at St. Mary's, it is important to recognize the pivotal role that our villagers, such as our families, professors, support staff, writing center consultants, friends, and classmates play in helping us reach this milestone. St. Mary's was more than a place that we came to acquire an education. It was a place filled with villagers that genuinely care about our academic as well as our overall personal journeys. Like any village, I'm sure we have our share of problems, like understanding the APA guy. But one thing was always certain: we could walk into any professor's office and he or she will have a box of Kleenex and some encouraging words. What I truly admired about St. Mary's was the diversity in the student body. Learning along with people from different backgrounds and walk of life taught me to be open to different perspectives. We share a mutual level of respect for each other, and we were taught at the onset that there were no wrong or right answers, and everyone's ideas were welcome. But how can we forget those villagers who had to watch us be part-time parents, friends, spouses, and children? Our family and support system made all this possible. Thanks for lending listening ears and being a part of this process. And today, we want you also to celebrate this accomplishment with us. As I close, I am aware that majority of us are still not remotely close to being APA experts. While we claim not to be APA experts, St. Mary's has equipped us with the tools to become ethical servant leaders. So wherever our journeys may take us, may we find groups of villagers as supportive as the ones we are leaving behind at St. Mary's. Congratulations, villagers. We made it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gateway. You gotta love that APA stuff, don't you? It is now my distinct honor and high personal privilege to introduce to you our interim president of the university, Dr. Ann Merklowitz, JD, who will offer her remarks on this occasion. President Merklowitz.
Regents, faculty and staff, family members and friends of our graduates, and last but certainly not least, graduates, welcome to Commencement, a truly joyous occasion. Congratulations to each of you upon the completion of your studies. Today is indeed a day of joy for you, for your families, and for all of us at the St. Mary's University learning community. What you have achieved today is a significant milestone in your life. It is an achievement that will make all the difference. I must confess that I am new to the whole commencement address realm. As I thought about what I should say to you today, I reflected on the commencement addresses at my own graduations and others that I've had the opportunity to hear. It seemed to me commencement remarks tended to be given by someone who is famous or of great importance, or someone who is a seasoned expert in the field of the graduates. Those giving addresses frequently offer professional advice or attempt to make the audience laugh. I stand before you without fame, without the ability to offer professional advice, and without the ability to make you laugh without making myself look incredibly foolish. I ultimately concluded that the best commencement remarks are those that are brief and thought-provoking. So for the next few minutes, I will endeavor to offer brief remarks that I hope you will find challenging and intellectually interesting. This year, we at St. Mary's have been talking about and celebrating the university's momentum. Craig D. Lonesborough, in his book An Intimate Collision, Encounters with Life and Jesus, said, and I quote, "If the road behind me is not growing ever longer, then it is likely that the feet underneath me are not moving any longer. And if my feet are not moving, I have somehow, somewhere, traded this most glorious journey for lesser endeavors." So as we've been talking about momentum, the momentum that we're feeling here at St. Mary's, we've been looking a bit at the road behind us. We really think that there have been 4 significant moments in our history that have propelled us forward, that have given us momentum. First, in 1912, Bishop Patrick Heffron founded St. Mary's in Winona as a school for boys. And as been fondly pointed out to us, not everything that started in 1912 made it to over 100 years of age. You may recall that the Titanic set sail that year. Then in 1933, in the midst of the Depression and a failed capital campaign for Heffron Hall, one of the main buildings on our campus in Winona, the Brothers of the Christian Schools purchased St. Mary's. Brother Leopold Dodd, the university's first De La Salle Christian Brother president, in short order, paid off the purchase price, retired the debt on Heffron Hall, tripled enrollment, and obtained higher accreditation for the school. Then in 1969, the university went coeducational, and now over 50% of our students are women. Finally, in 1984, the schools of graduate and professional programs were born here in the Twin Cities, programs that are now 5,000 students strong. And we wonder, here at the university, if we are in another period of time, another moment that will launch us forward to even greater achievements. And what is leading us to that wondering, as it were? Well, we launched a capital campaign 2 years ago with a stated goal of $57 million, twice as much as this university has ever raised. To date, we have raised over $72 million, and the campaign continues. We completed construction on a $20 million science and learning center on our campus in Winona, 50,000 square feet of classrooms, study space, and labs that was entirely paid for through gifts to the university. We were gifted the Cascade Meadow Wetlands and Environmental Science Center in Rochester several years ago, and just completed a 10,000 square foot addition to that facility, Remick Hall, again paid for through a single gift to the university. That facility will now house all of our courses and programs in Rochester. It will also house our new Physician's Assistant Master's Degree program, a collaborative effort between St. Mary's University of Minnesota and Mayo's School of Health Sciences. We started in partnership with Wiley fully online graduate programs about 5 years ago. Those programs have had phenomenal growth, 47 students to over 1,200 students today. with a persistence rate of 89%, well above the national average, with plans to grow those programs to 2,500 students and then 5,000 students. And we are now the second largest provider of graduate degrees in the state of Minnesota, second only to the University of Minnesota. Alumni, friends, students, and our collaborators like Wiley and the Mayo School of Health Sciences are demonstrating to us in new and unique ways their confidence and faith in this institution. So why do I share all of that with you? Because the road behind us here at St. Mary's is indeed long, but our feet are continuing to move. We as a university are not trading this most glorious journey for lesser endeavors. I know that you too have had long roads behind you. You and your families have made sacrifices on your journey to this moment. You have worked many hours, juggled multiple commitments, but you have kept your feet moving. We hope that you will not trade this most glorious journey for lesser endeavors. We hope that you will be committed to lifelong learning and ethical leadership and service. We believe that you will lead a life of engagement in your communities. We hope that you will commit to value-laden support of your friends, family, neighbors, and even strangers. We pray that you will visibly demonstrate tolerance for those who are different and those with whom you disagree. We hope that you will treat individuals with integrity and fairness. We believe that your relationship with others will be characterized by civility. We trust that you will continue your study of the human condition, educate yourself about the society, the world, and the communities in which you live. Be responsible citizens and sound stewards of your communities. Be engaged and involved outside of your professional lives. You have momentum now. You are embarking on a glorious journey. Keep your feet moving. We place our hopes and dreams for the future in you. At this important moment in the university's history, and at this important moment in your personal history, we hope that you will make a difference in the world, because that is what your faculty and mentors have been preparing you to do over the last years. In classes, lectures, seminars, and internships, you have been encouraged, prodded, and sometimes pushed to think critically, to develop expertise and competence in a specialized field, to become lifelong learners, and to commit to lives of ethical service and leadership. The founder of the Brothers of the Christian Schools and the inspiration for the heritage here at St. Mary's is St. John Baptist de La Salle. He often wrote words of encouragement and inspiration to the early brothers so that they would persevere in their important work. In a letter to a fellow Christian brother, he wrote, "May God continue in you what he has begun." Well, we here at St. Mary's pledge to continue the work that God began with this university over 100 years ago. We pledge to continue on a journey that will make you as alumni proud of this institution, and we trust that you will continue the work he has begun in you. We hope that you will continue on your glorious journey. After today, the work is yours. May miracles abound. Congratulations.
The university has waited 106 years for someone like me to say, "Thank you, Madam President." We have now arrived at the moment each of you has been anticipating since you began your studies with us, the conferral of your degree. The awarding process will unfold in the following way. Degree candidates will be invited by row to stand. You will be asked to move forward to the hooding area to be hooded by the director of your program. When your name is called, please proceed to the stage to receive your diploma from the president. We have arranged for a professional photographer to photograph the graduates as they receive their diploma. We ask, therefore, friends and family to refrain from coming forward to take photographs so as to prevent congestion and obstructing the view of the audience. There will be ample opportunity to take photos during the reception following this ceremony. Candidates for graduation will be called forward by Dr. Thomas Marpy, the Dean of the Graduate School of Business and Technology. Dr. Marpy.
Candidate for the Master of Arts in Arts and Cultural Management, Gaia D. Ascoli. Dawn Falstrom. Michael Scott Johnson. Elizabeth Nicole Lassiter. Z. Lee. Candidates for the Master of Arts in Human Development, William Gerald Bozer. Cameron Lisa Peterson. Jennifer Lynette Williams Pavick. Candidates for the Master of Arts in Human Resource Management, Olubumi Anakuni. Svetlana Basakova. Stephanie Ray Bito Ziemer. Pilar Ellis Blomquist. Caitlin Louise Casper. Wuya Vivian Korma, excuse me. Lillian S. Najipan. Anastasia Bartling Weisdeck. Ashley Reitzigo. Winnie Rindeloob. Amanda? No. Amanda Lynn Staley? No. Okay, that's what I want to make sure. All right. Candidates for the Master of Arts in Management, Kylan Krzoka Kamuti. Bonnie Fung. Christina Marie Vickmark. Candidates for the Master of Arts in Organizational Leadership, Karina Lynn Beauvais. Amanda Jo Belts. Charles Anthony Carter. Teresa Lynn Crossley. Stacy J. Demuse. Anthony John DeBella. Nissa Furnick. Chris Allen Gamal. Momo F. James. Andrea L. Johnson. Margarita Redez Jules. Jessica Lee Kendall. Barbara Grace Kruger. Barbara Jean Lind. Crystal A. Mitchell. Deborah Elise Morris. Jessica Erin Newsma. Michelle Renee Norland. Rachel Ann Roloff. Cynthia K. Rose. Justina Hammond Sam. Lori S. Schutenhofer. Indichu Theophilos. Carolyn Marie Lease Walker. Kristen Ann Young. Candidates for the Master of Business Administration. Abdebayo Adesida. Solomon Awole Ajeke. Kellen Anderson. Jeffrey M. Baskin. Rory Richard Byer. Rita M. Cortez. Jennifer L. Ford. Christine Leah Gibas. Teresa Greiner. Troy W. Hansen. Monira Hassan. Timothy Hunsaker. Morris Anula Kazulu, Jr. Kate Marie Knopik. Andrew Scott Knutson. Cassidy Cooper. Michelle Marie Larson. Velma Camuto Mascari. Gandhi Yusuf Mohammed. Evan Joseph Nelson. Rachel Ann Ness. Ian G. Peterson. Numania Pevic. Theolandra Peduzan Ratayaki. Nicholas Joe Santee. Katie Mae Spring. Debbie Tamil. Joseph Paul Valeski. Sarah Maria Vitek. Priya Yamabuka. Scott Zettinger. Candidates for the Master of Science in Accountancy: Florida Kamaluki Bagozonza. Luke Walter Bueller. Hideo Adoa Gagnon. Maichua Lee. Zinye Lau. Fazil Mogul. Elena Moa. Teresa Helen Nicoletti. Andrew James Robson. Sarah Schultz. Richard Jared Simmons. Tina Vang. Priscilla Pa Vang. Yishin Yin. Yishin Zhang. Candidates for the Master of Science in Geographic Information Science: Candence Roberts. Ritu Shasta. Michael Andrew Stroka. Joshua D. Taylor. Candidates for Master of Science in Information Technology Management: Anvesh Kumar Arira. Wen Cheng. Kruthika Chirupa. Sandeep Gauni. Anuruka Gadapati. Surya Te Gadamareddy. Shriband Mully. Vera Prasad Nikolaruthkuth. Alekia Purnam. Adruth Yaragada. Candidates for the Master of Science in Project Management: Adumini Lawrence Adresina. Daniel Jacob Callahan. Martin D. Gore. Joshua Troy Manni. Austin Ajga Bagahali. Fahad Khan Muhammad. Stephen R. Munson. Melanie Marie Peterson. Muhammad Samim. Marissa Ann Smith. Amel Thomas. Meg Lissel Wood. Sia Yang. Candidate for the Doctor of Business Administration, dissertation successfully defended, titled Experiences of African Immigrants Who Have Successfully Matriculated to Managerial Positions in Minnesota. Dissertation chairperson, Dr. Matt Nowakowski. Introducing Charlene Miata Getaway.
Will the candidates for graduation please stand? President Merklowitz, upon the recommendation of the faculty, deans, program directors, and administration of the Schools of Graduate and Professional Programs, and with the approval of the Board of Trustees, I present to you for your approval candidates for master's and doctoral degrees on this day, June 2nd, 2018, the 228th year since the founding of the Republic and the 105th year since the founding of St. Mary's University of Minnesota. Do you accept?
I accept.
Graduates, you want to try again? You should be smart now. You'll get this up and down. Before we conclude, I want to ask you, recent graduates, to join me in recognizing some very important groups of people who are with us here today, people whose presence has added much to the specialness of this celebration. While I salute you, our graduates, on earning a degree from St. Mary's University of Minnesota, you and I know that this is not a singular or individual accomplishment. Therefore, I invite you graduates to recognize those who have been your mentors, your teachers, and your scholars. I ask the St. Mary's University faculty, program directors, and advisors to please stand and face the graduates so that we may all honor you with our applause. There's another very special group of people whose love and concern, patience, and prayers have contributed much to your being here today. I now invite the graduates to stand and turn to face those individuals, families, partners, and friends who have been a source of support during your course of study here and to applaud them. I invite all those who are able to please stand, and Father Nodebart, our chaplain, will offer our benediction. Please stand as you are able. Father Nodebart.
Creator God, we have met the challenges today, risen above the rush to prepare for this graduation. We stand, diplomas in hand, hooded and ready for the embrace of our families and friends. But there is a poignant moment of departure as well, as our classmates return to their own careers and lives. Will we see each other again? Will we continue on the path of education tomorrow? Will our efforts further our convictions about justice and peace, acceptance and welcome? Will people recognize in us the humanity that we strive to live? All these things are in our hands, but not our hands alone. Rather, the encouragement and challenge we find from others. Above all, our future will be shaped by you, God, if we listen to our hearts. Be with us, our God, to guide and to speak in tender words the hopes you have for our world which you have made. Blessed are you, God, for you live forever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father Nodebart. Please remain standing, and at this time, members of the staff of the Schools of Graduate and Professional Programs will lead us in singing St. Mary's University Alma Mater. They will sing the first verse, and I invite you to join on the second and third verses. You can find the Alma Mater on the last page of the program.
Hail St. Mary's alma mater, hail St. Mary's mother true. Every faithful son and daughter lifts this anthem now to you. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. Hail St. Mary's fount of wisdom, nurturer of heart and mind, strengthen us in thought and spirit, that in seeking we may find. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. Hail St. Mary, shining
Come on, give it up for our singers. Thank you, Michelle, Caitlin, Christy, and Becky. In addition, I want to thank Victory Park Brass for their musical contributions to our ceremony. You all know something like this does not happen with an awful lot of work for a week or 10 days before the event, and there are 30 or 40 St. Mary's employees who have been working very hard to make sure this went off without a glitch. They're all over this building. Please join me in thanking them. I ask the graduates and faculty to remain standing, and I invite our guests to be seated, and I promise it's the last time. On behalf of the faculty, administration, staff, trustees, and regents of the university, I congratulate each of our graduates. We wish you good health and much success and happiness in your life and in your work. To facilitate our exit, I ask our guests to remain seated until the stage party, faculty, and graduates have left the auditorium. There will be an opportunity to informally greet the graduates at a reception on the second floor of this building. Please exit the auditorium to the doors on your right. This concludes our commencement ceremony. Again, congratulations and best wishes from all of us to all of you, graduates, families, and friends of St. Mary's University of Minnesota. Good afternoon.
Why